May we all humbly bow down to all graces of all Buddhas, Maha-Buddhas, all the great perfections. Please hold the space for all of us. We would like to declare removal and cancellation of all deluded desires and expectations within eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and mind, sounds, smells, tastes, touches, and shapes, mental elements, sensual pleasures, all the fabrications of minds, thoughts, recalls, memories, feelings, emotions, awareness, all the practices for attainment of mindfulness, concentration, contemplations, meditative power, special insights, wisdoms, supernatural powers, authoritative powers. We would like to declare removal and cancellation of all black magic, of all the usage of mindfulness, concentration, contemplations, and to use it in the wrong way, in the black magic, to hurt and harm anyone with the black magic, or to use it in whatever ways. We would like to declare removal and cancellation of all curses, of all the spells we have used towards anyone or anything, or to do consecrations for objects, to mislead anyone, not right to the point of the true essence, not right to the point of giving ending instantly. We would like to declare removal and cancellation of all deluded desires and expectations within all types of relationships, in families, fathers, mothers, sons and daughters, husbands and wives, friends, relatives, ancestors, enemies, societies, small or large, within the nations, countries, homelands, within global connections, within the space, within universes, being narrow with just one's own self, one's own nations, one's own countries. We would like to declare removal and cancellation of all deluded desires and expectations within the worldly habits or spiritual habits, which is grasping, desire to achieve, to attain, to liberate, according to the concepts, the ideas, belief system or disbelief system, biases, doctrines, dogmas, even the concepts of religions. We would like to declare removal and cancellation of all deluded desires and expectations within living lives, lifestyles, living places, fixation to objects, fixation to living places, treasures, properties, ownerships, which is just by one's own opinions and meanings and values given, and misleading oneself to own suchness, such a things. We would like to declare removal and cancellation of all deluded desires and expectations towards the path to the enlightenment, towards achievement, towards goals, towards purposes of life, with causing oneself to be misled by such given value, and being deluded to them lifetimes after lifetimes until it's crystallized, until it's deepened and rooted down in the habits to strive for, to desire for, and being deluded to it and misleaded by such delusion to all that is imagined and fabricated by one's own mind or others' minds and followed others' delusion. We would like to declare removal and cancellation of all deluded desires and expectations within all matters, within all the made-up things and lost and misled by it. And may we humbly ask for forgiveness regarding all cases of karma from all groups of beings in all realms of existence, towards the Buddhas, towards the great perfections, the Mahaparami, towards the embodiments of the Buddhas, towards the Noble Truth, the Satya Dharma, in any Buddha eras and eons of the Buddha times. May all cases be released. Ahosi, Ahosi, Ahosi. Any behaviors that is not aligned with the alignment itself, not purifying the purification itself, having something to do with the knower and its delusion to knowing, using the knower or consciousness or awareness towards that which is not knowing, having something to do with opinions and meanings and using deluded viewpoints towards that which are not viewpoints, deludedly using insights towards that which is not insights. May everything be released. Ahosi, Ahosi, Ahosi. All cases and all types of karma in every period of time towards the grace of the Triple Gem and all graces, towards those we owe gratitude to. Karma towards the physical world and samsara, towards all beings, towards the Buddhas and the great perfections, the Mahaparami. Karma towards the Bodhisattvas, Mahabodhisattvas, the embodiments of the Buddhas, in any periods of time. Karma of rejection, opposition and insults, hurting and harming, killing and destroying. May everything be released. Ahosi, Ahosi, Ahosi. Regarding all types of karma mentioned earlier, whether it is the karma in regards to the hindrances, all types of vows, or in regards to mental projections, obligations or expectations, including the overlaying karmic intentions, which turns into karmic difficulties in the suffering, no matter how long it has been throughout periods of time, across Buddha eras or eons of Buddha time. May all cases of karma be released. Ahosi, Ahosi, Ahosi. And may we all humbly declare removal and cancellation of all deluded desires and expectations and fixation to opinions and meanings and values given to anything whatsoever from now on. Let's proceed all together with everything. Open up. Everything is from that which has nothing to do with attachments. detachment or non-attachment. Widen out further and further without focuses, without targets or destinations. But this is not drifting around. Remind oneself, everything is from that which has nothing to do with anything. Nothing is in anything. Everything is from that which has nothing to do with involvement or non-involvement. So the mind is not drifting around in everything. And those who hear this will follow accordingly, will help them unwound, to be unwound from the unwinding itself even. This is itself the so-called Metta, loving kindness, but it is of the voidness. It doesn't create attachment. It is ungraspable. Therefore, these reminders are needed so that the loving kindness cannot not be stuck in itself and create attachment to anyone. And open up accordingly. Continue with the opening beyond opening. Scatter the infinite force. Everything is from that which has nothing to do with involvement or non-involvement. Then it can purify all the attachments with thoughts, memories, recalls, feelings, emotions, concepts, ideas. All of that will be dissolved automatically. Continue with metta and share. Scatter the metta, metta of the voidness, loving kindness of the voidness, that which is ungraspable. This is beyond anything, because it's beyond the beyond itself. Therefore, no one can grasp it. No one can take it. Yet they receive the metta, the loving kindness of voidness. Scatter in all directions without targets or destinations, as usual. The reminders are significant because they help purify even themselves. They leave no traces. Metta alone, loving kindness alone, leaves traces of metta, which create attachments. It is still a state of mind. Therefore, it needs to be unconditional. Loving kindness of voidness is the unconditional. Therefore, it has the power to purify all types of minds, all types of habits of the mind. Everything is from that which has nothing to do with discarding or not. engaging or disengaging. Everything is from letting go of the letting go itself. This leaves no traces of any attempt to liberate from anything or not, to cut anything or not, because everything is from that which has nothing to do with cutting or not cutting. Widen out, scattering this infinite force into universes, further and further. Metta, loving kindness, has to be of the voidness. And that is in the reminders. The self-purifying reminders is itself the metta of the voidness. It's called Metta Sunyata. Metta Sunyata. Zero. Sunya. Zero. Meaningless. Metta that is not metta. Loving kindness that is not loving kindness. This can cleanse and purify everything. And we proceed with everything with such reminders that have self-purification. Therefore, it removes and dissolves that which is excessive, that creates attachment or misleading towards attempts to the non-attachment. Everything is from that which has nothing to do with attachment, detachment, or non-attachment. Listen well and brighten out in all directions. Through this great compassion, this infinite force, this loving kindness of voidness, this is the power that can clear everything out from excessiveness. And it can turn samsara into the brightness, into the land of the Buddha, or all graces, the land of the enlightenment, enlightenment that is not enlightenment. Enlightenment is not to be kept, it's not helpful. Enlightenment has to be given, which is cutting deluded knowing right now. How to cut it? Scatter the infinite force. Everything is from that which has nothing to do with knowing or not knowing. That is cutting through the cutting itself. Therefore, it has nothing to do with knowing or not knowing. So this is not the knower. This is the enlightenment itself, that is to be given and not to be kept. And this is the loving kindness of the voidness. because it is cutting. Ending is here now. Ending the ending itself right now. Not to continue further and further with thoughts, recalls, memories, consciousness, blah, 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 with all the methods and ways to get to the enlightenment. That is by one's own assumed up, made up path and lost, misled by it, by one's own opinions and meanings. It is called samudaya, causes of karma, causes of sufferings, and it is the suffering in itself. That is the grasping. We have to reverse it. Give out, giving out instead of grasping. Giving out the enlightenment instead of taking in and trying to get there. Even now cannot be dwelled in the now. How can you awaiting for the future, for the enlightenment? It's not going to happen. That is in one's own imagination, and the like-minded is having the same karma. That's why there are huge amounts, masses of people who are in the same collective karma of trying to get there. But that is the cause of karma. Even here and now cannot be dwelled in, cannot be grasped, let alone the future time. Right now, give out, scatter the loving kindness of the voidness, the unconditional, the infinite force to samsara, turning samsara into the enlightenment. So let's open up further and further with the reminders. Everything is from that which has nothing to do with being enlightened or not. Cut through the awareness. Everything is from that which has nothing to do with being aware or not. Yet it's the total awareness, meaning that it is to be given out, not to be misled to have excessive awareness. It is not to be grasped, it is to be given out. So let's step back, giving out instead of taking in. Giving that which is ungraspable, loving kindness of the voidness, instead of just loving kindness. Let's leave no traces here. No traces of karma. No traces of the causes of karma and causes of sufferings and sufferings.